you? of 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 5th Annual Virtual Veterans Day Parade of Lubbock, brought to you by Los Hermanos Familia. As you know, COVID-19 has been a challenge for us all, and due to safety concerns, we knew the parade could not happen in its traditional format, that is. And despite this pandemic, we wanted to continue to remember and honor our nation's veterans while teaching others about their sacrifice, and this virtual event gives us the ability to do just that. As such, Los Hermanos Familia hopes that you'll find this year's event to be unique and more so to fit our 2020 theme of We Stand as One. One nation, one community, and a united advocate of all our veterans. Of course, this could not be possible without the support of our 2020 premier sponsor, T-Mobile. By the way, Los Hermanos Familia's objective is strengthening families, building community, and it is something that we strive for daily. With partners such as T-Mobile, Mighty Wash, Latino Lubbock Magazine, and Lamar Advertising, we're able to work collectively to connect with all the community. As such, let's begin by introducing you to our 2020 Parade Grand Marshals. With us is Steve Owen and Benny Guerrero. Again, thank you, everybody. And now we'd like to introduce our wonderful and well-deserved Grand Marshals. We've got the VFW 2466 and the Military Purple Heart. How do you say that, Steve? The Military Order of the Purple Hearts 0900.
There you go.
And both of these groups were just amazing. They worked so diligently on our regional monument of courage that was constructed in Lubbock, Texas, to honor and remember 12 Medal of Honor recipients, Purple Heart recipients, and Gold Star families from across the West Texas region. It really does mean so much. And this beautiful monument is now located in the Lubbock Area Veterans War Memorial, which is in the Henry Hunnicky Park on 84th Street in Nashville. And with that, gentlemen, tell us more about this wonderful thing that you did. And we're so proud. Thank you for being our Grand Marshals and for y'all's dedication.
Go ahead, Benny.
Oh no, and thank you, Christy, for having us and for your committee electing us for the Grand Marshals. I met Steve about 4 or 5 years ago when we both became commanders the same year of each of our organizations. And we're Marine brothers, from different generations. He fought in Vietnam and I fought in Iraq. So it's a different generation, but the same blood and the same love of country and the same patriotism flows in our veins. And so we just out of a conversation, we vowed to work together. And then all of a sudden we hear that one of his members at the Purple Heart wants to create a monument or, dedicated to honoring the sacrifice. And he pitched an idea and there it took off. And I'm going to tell you, okay, so I have selfish reasons for doing it because I've lost friends on the battlefield, and I do it just for healing for me. Mm-hmm. But I am telling you, it's the wall that heals is the Vietnam Wall, the traveling wall that heals at the Vietnam Wall. But I'll tell you, this is just as powerful because you get to actually reflect on that monument, on the Gold Star family monument, and you can stand on either side of it and observe the other monuments, and you get to actually see what sacrifice and try to get an understanding of what sacrifice truly means. Now, I'm not one of those guys that got injured like Steve Owen, like Commander Steve Owen, but I am telling you, I am so grateful to know Steve and know his story, because man, it just makes it more powerful for me to be able to stand up and continue to give. Because man, if it's not for him shedding that blood on the battlefield, then maybe our country would just be just a little different.
Right. Well, I mean, I got a chance to visit this beautiful memorial in the evening, and the funny thing, it was a purple sky, and it made me tear up, and it made me so proud, in part because I knew the guys that worked so diligently, and we're showing some of the photos from when y'all dedicated it. It was truly a beautiful event, and something that I think this community and everybody in West Texas can take pride in. So I thank you guys. And Steve, I know you've got your own experience that you can share a little bit about that. So tell us a little bit from your vantage point.
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for the honor, along with Benny, of being your grand marshals. It's just amazing. Never done anything like that before, but thank you so much. What an honor. And thank you for honoring not only what we did, but what the Monument of Courage represents. It took us about 4 years to raise funds to construct the monument. And then we got a hold of an architect, PSC Architects here, and they helped to lay out the circle we wanted with the star in the middle of it. And oh, by the way, that star, the northern point, does point north, to honor and remember our region's Medal of Honor recipients, Gold Star families, and Purple Heart recipients. The Purple Heart medal is, I'm going to say, the golden thread that runs between all three monuments. The Gold Star families, for the loss of their loved one, that their loved one also received a Purple Heart because they were killed in action. And then we have wounded recipients. And then we have 12 Medal of Honor recipients there who also, I think if I remember correctly, all but one received a Purple Heart. And so overall, 70% of the Medal Heart recipients are actually killed in combat, and they receive it posthumously. But what a way to remember and honor the three sets of individuals that we tend to overlook and forget that they sacrificed for our freedom as well.
Absolutely.
Over on the American Legion War Memorial, there's 931 names, and they paid the ultimate sacrifice, but families are there with them, wounded are there with them, and Medal of Honor recipients are there with them now. And that's the way it should be.
Well, again, we want to congratulate you guys for such dedication. We're going to be showing some of the photos that we showed and others on our website. And I just want to say thank you, congratulations. I know that you guys have way more members, but you guys have really represented these organizations well, and we congratulate you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with our virtual Veterans Day Parade. Welcome, everybody. And congratulations to our Grand Marshals. And now we'll begin after this short message from our premier sponsor, T-Mobile.
To ask her littlest baby ninja, who's been in here twice. Happy birthday, Ryan. Is that you? baby ninja. You turned into a star.
We miss you. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Is that you?
To ask your littlest baby ninja. You turned into a star.
We miss you. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Is that you?
littlest baby ninja. You turned into a twin.
We miss you. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Is that you?
littlest baby ninja. You turned into a twin.
We miss you. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Is that you?
baby ninja. You turned into a 20.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Is that you? Benny, I know that as we've talked and as we're honoring veterans, one of the comments that you shared with me a few days ago, when part of the reason that we decided that we needed to go virtual, you shared with me that over 210 veterans in West Texas have died to COVID-19. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, we've been actually working with each of the families. Okay, so not just these are within our region. Going as far north as Spearman, Texas. The families, whenever they get diagnosed with COVID-19 and they pass through COVID-19, some of their birth certificate will actually mention COVID-19. And we've actually had to respond to over 210 of those. We've actually buried a few here in our area. We've conducted the military honors, but we've actually been working with service officers to amend the death certificate, because when it gets labeled as COVID-19, there's some survivor's benefits that veteran's spouse or family member loses.
Mhm.
And we're trying to work, and that's why we know the number is we've been working with these families to ensure that they don't actually are impacted by the strict COVID labeling on their death certificate. There are some underlying effects that we wanted to be mentioned on those, and that's why we petition the medical examiner's office to add diabetes, to add lung cancer, to add all the pre-existing conditions to COVID, and that's what we know. So when you cancel the event, I know that it was out of love and compassion, and you I think you put the risk out there. You said, hey, what is the greatest risk? Which is losing a elder veteran.
Mhm.
And what is the reward? Well, the reward is not great enough.
Mhm.
We're not fighting for freedom. We're having a celebration, and it's not worth it. So we do applaud your effort. We thank you for the decision. And I know that it was probably heartfelt amongst our younger veterans who really haven't been part of the burial process or out of the service officers process of actually helping these families fight through COVID. But if they were even walking shoulder to shoulder with us during those events, they truly understand.
Yes.
And just like we do understand.
Well, on behalf of Los Hermanos Familia, and of course, we want to thank our sponsors who have helped us to bring this to fruition. We have T-Mobile, Mighty Wash, Latino Lubbock Magazine, and Lamar Advertising. We want to extend our prayers and condolences to all the families who've lost a veteran to COVID-19. And if we can do a moment of silence, if we can just bow our heads for just a few seconds. Again, we thank all of our veterans. God bless you all. And God bless our families. God bless our community. And most importantly, God bless the United States of America. We thank you all again for your service and for all of your help in helping to bring this parade, this virtual parade. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. But again, thank you to all of our veterans and servicemen and women. Thank you all.
Thank you, Christy.
To ask your littlest baby ninja, you turned into a 20.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Is that you?